Hey, what up, y'all? It's Tone the Boss, T1 Entertainment, repping CR. You already know, out here in Davenport Graveyard Studios. But we're not living in the past, we're not living in the future, we living in the now. And I'm here for the Now Podcast. What up, Thumper? I see you. Appreciate you having me out here. T1 Entertainment. Let's get it.
That's perfect. Yo, shout out to everybody watching. You already know what the fuck it is. It's the Now Code Podcast. We out here with Tone.
Yeah, what up? Tone the Boss in the building.
Yeah, make some noise.
You make me feel so welcome. I love it.
Yeah. We got a live audience up in this bit. Shout out to Gravy. So right now, what I just want to break down, man, is kind of start telling people, who are you real quick? Let's just get a little breakdown. Just let people know that have never seen you, never heard anything about you. Just what would you say about yourself to let people know who you are?
Yeah, so I'm a big music guy in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I've been doing music for the last 15 years. I started with a group, Big Bang, performed songs with like Wiz Khalifa, Young Buck from G Unit, Lil Chucky from Young Money. Over hundreds of thousands views on YouTube from our videos like SpongeBob Ready, Polo. We worked for the last like 15 years, or I would say 10 years of work as a group. And then I kind of went on my solo ventures.
That's been for like 5 years now?
Yeah. I've been doing some solo things over the last, like I'd say 5-6 years here. So I started just doing a couple solo albums. I did a mixtape right here with Graveyard called Unfinished Business.
Shout out Graveyard.
Yeah, Graveyard Studios. I got a Boss Life album that's been out. And then I'm working on a new album called Antonio Story. That's me as an artist. On the business side, I run an entertainment company, T1 Entertainment. I manage several artists throughout the city. I have my own studio, T1 Studios. So we got a place to record. It's just a creative space. We do podcasts as well. So it's kind of like we're trying to do what you guys are doing out here at Graveyard in Davenport and Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, the way that I kind of learned actually about you was through Young Creatives. So Riley was the first kind of contact that I had with you. I think I met you at Sandfest was the first time I officially met you, and you were DJing at the time. So I know you do a wide range of things.
Anything music related, I try to keep my hands in. But yes, DJing, managing, doing my own artist stuff, web design, everything. I'm just kind of all over the place. Any way I can help other people, I want to be involved. I also help run the nonprofit Big Bang Foundation is what came of me and the guys of the music. Once we kind of put the music down, we started a nonprofit organization to help kids that were in similar situations as us, just kind of growing up, needed some guidance, and music helps everybody. So we started a nonprofit organization to help kids out as well.
Okay, so then can you talk more about that nonprofit organization?
That's what it's all about. Let's inspire each other. Let's look at it as we're giving and not somebody taking from us or anything. Like, let's help each other be better. Let's teach each other as much as we can so we can give back to other people that are either not in the same position or people that need to learn these things. And at some point, you'll benefit from that person, and we'll all work together and keep rising.
Who were some of your mentors growing up?
My main mentor is actually my producer who got me into music. He had his own studio, but he really showed me the ropes and everything. And not only did he teach us about music, but in the background, we were seeing how hard he was working his full-time job, how much of a family man he was.
Looking at that, like, for instance, Gravy was one of my mentors just growing up, being able to look towards someone like that. So I know that finding mentors for people, I think what you're doing, again, with your nonprofit, just trying to find a way to mentor kids is beautiful, man. And again, that's just going to resonate for ages and ages. It's just showing them what they could do, and then they go ahead and run with it. Yep. I like that. I like that a lot. Also, I know you're talking about albums and stuff that you have going on right now, that you're working on projects. Would you like to just tell us about your latest project right now?
Yeah. So the new album's going to be called Antonio, and it's very different for most people. Anybody that's known me, they always know me as Tone the Boss, DJ Tone, something like that. I let very few people in on who Antonio is. And this year has not only been crazy due to the pandemic, the protests, Black Lives Matter, the election. It's so much going on this year already that we're all struggling through together. but I also have a personal story that I'm going to tell on the album where I actually deal with depression, divorce, finding a new me, discovering the type of father and man I want to be outside of everything that I've dedicated my life to the last 10 years. So the album lets people in on who I really am, and personal things that I've never been comfortable with discussing. It's full disclosure. There is no secrets left on this album. And I really enjoy it. It honestly, I haven't got tattoos or anything. My first tattoo is going to be music is my therapy. And it is exactly that. It helped me get through the toughest time of my life. Like this year alone, if I just dealt with that, would have been overwhelming. And then I had all these other things. I bought the like my dream house with my wife at the time, and I had to sell it this year. So, dealing with that, I end up making a song about it, and it's even hard for me to listen to, but it tells the exact story of why that house was so important for me. Like, it was something that my grandma taught me, and we were going to get a big house one day, and I finally got it. I made her proud, and then to have to sell that house, it's a whole bunch of things on the album that really I dive deep in that I've never really truly expressed to people, and that's why it's going to be called Antonio instead of just Tone the Boss or Boss Life or anything like that. This is all me.
Yeah, it's just kind of showing everybody exactly what it is. And I like that you're going into that route. I also know that when I listen to your music, you kind of go along the lines of more conscious rap, and I appreciate that, especially nowadays, being able to have an actual flow and actually being able to be able to be conscious in a good way, because I feel like a lot of times you see it kind of be overplayed.
Exactly.
And hearing from you, trying to express who Antonio is and allowing people to dive into your psyche and actually see a real side. Well, now you're letting them into your conscious.
Yep.
And I like that, because that's what conscious music is supposed to be. It's supposed to be about what you're experiencing. And I like that as well, because now your story is kind of going to be, eternal now. And just anybody can just go back and listen to who you were. And
I think that's also really important why it needs to happen this year, because this year is the most unique year of almost all of our lives. But, when we're older and we have kids and their kids have kids, we're going to try to tell the story of 2020, like this happened, that happened, it was like that. And it needs to be documented, and people don't look at it, but music is a way of documenting our history.
Yeah, reflecting the time.
Yeah, exactly.
The moment.
One of the double entendres of my album is, yes, it's Antonio, but all the songs in some way, I make sure it relates to the quarantine, the Black Lives Matter movement. Like there's subtle hints. So my first singles of the album are called Anxiety and Depression, Stuck Inside, and then Free. And I was going to drop them in that order, but some things happened online where I was in Facebook jail. And when I got out, I was free. So I was like, let me just show them a preview of that song. And it kind of took off from there. So I'm going to drop the songs kind of in a different order now, but the album will give you the exact flow. But basically, my song "Free" that I'm pushing right now, all available on all streaming platforms. It talks about a life after the pandemic. It talks about once we're free, we're able to go outside. We can hit the pool. We can go to the beach. We can hit the mall. We can go back to normal. We were bored in the house. We was in the house bored. Now we can go out, shop at all the stores. Like, just simple stuff. But it's also a reflection of now I'm free from my relationship. One of the lines in there, I say, we got spades on the table, close the last book, up my sleeve is an ace, though. So people will hear that as, oh, spades, you closed the book, but you had an ace. But actually what I'm talking about is closing a chapter of my life, closing the last book of my life, my relationship. But I got an ace up my sleeve. I've got this music. I've got some newfound inspiration on where to go with my life. So, everything has double meaning, and I want to make sure it tells my story, but other people can relate to it with their stories as well.
Yeah, I was, again, kind of thrown back by your lyricism when I was listening to some of your music that Riley showed me. Again, a shout out Young Creatives. He was playing back some of your stuff, and he's breaking it down. He's like, "Oh, you wouldn't understand if you were hanging out. If you could just look at this part and just tie this back in." And like, bro, there's like bars on bars. And I was like, and
when you know me, there's extra stuff for like people that really know me. But I try to make it so general because you don't want it to go over everybody's head. Then it's pointless. But my favorite thing to do in music is make you listen to it again and have a different experience each time. Like when I was in college, I was a film major. And the beauty of movies is when, like, I can watch the same movie and laugh at all the same parts and then find new parts that I didn't even understand the first few times watching it. I want to do that with my music. I want you to be able to listen to it, and I don't give you everything the first time you hear it, but the words don't change.
Yeah. So I'll just give a little break real quick. We got some food delivery. Hey, what do we got? Hooters. Oh, is that? Oh, Hooters delivery. Look at that, straight to the studio. That's how we rock right here. You know, opening up a bag. You already know what it is. That's what the Hooters lady did to us. She disappointed us by interrupting. But also she helped us out. So shout out Hooters lady. You already know what it is. She didn't show no titties though when she came. I did not.
We didn't get the Hooters experience.
We did not get the full Hooters experience. But a little short little clap for that. But so anyways, again, going back with what's happening with you, I want to speak on your videos as well.
Yeah. So, did you see the one to be sliding across the floor with no pants on?
No, I have not. That seems like something. Yeah. Oh wow!
Let me show you that real quick. It's
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's me just saying, "F it." I'm not scared. I love life. I'm free, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to promote my music. I'm not afraid to live my best life. The worst has happened.
Oh, so. Is that when you got out of Facebook jail?
Yes.
Like immediately after you got.
Yes.
Wait, so was the song "Free" made prior?
Free. Almost this entire album was made months and months in advance. Like some of the stuff is kind of eerie because I predicted some things that would happen, like between me and my ex, that I didn't even know at the time of writing the song, but it just felt right, and then it all came to fruition.
So it's like something that kind of was in the subconscious, but was brought.
It was brought to light later. Like I wasn't looking for it. It just, what's done in the dark will always come to light. So when that happened.
So my thing is, man, also with music, I've realized the more you like listen to your music, the more like, so for instance, like I remember when I was writing music when I was younger, and I wasn't even like really doing the shit that I was saying at the time, but later on in life, like for instance, I would talk about like moving blank, and then I'd end up later on in life finding a way to move blank, and then I became my songs because like that's just kind of like
I lived that same experience, and I was told by another one of my mentors of my first employer that, and I told him, dude, when I rap, it's almost the same as acting. It's almost the same as me playing a character. Yeah. He's like, I feel what you're trying to say. However, when you speak it, it becomes a lifestyle. You will speak things into existence.
Absolutely.
So, and it literally happened. I talked about doing some things in the streets that I thought I would never do. I just, I'm entertaining and, and I ended up doing those things. It ended up warping my mind and ended up making my decisions for me because that was what I talked about. That is what I wrote about. That is what I thought.